Good day, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. It is the 4th of May, and as you can see, it's 8 o'clock in the evening in the UK. And, well, about 24 hours ago, as you can see here with this tweet, Facepunch accepted the skins a day early. Yeah, that was weird. So we got spoiled about that, didn't we? So, yeah, this was very surprising. I made a short video discussing it. I also discussed it in my Abnormal Weekly video. This isn't something that we should expect every single week, but if you do want to be aware of it potentially happening again in the future, please go to the Rust workshop right here and just go scroll down, and there we are. Accepted in game. Every Wednesday, we're potentially having to keep an eye on this now, because if they ever do that again, well, you know, the first person to be aware of it potentially could be the first person to make a nice investment. And yes, some skins that have appeared today have had an impact on certain skins, and we will discuss that in a bit. So, what we first need to do is, before we start talking about investments and what potentially out of these skins will be the best investment, we need to figure out what is and isn't an abnormal skin. So, which of these skins will be appearing earlier? We've got 10 skins to take a look at, and what do we see? That is not abnormal, but this is abnormal. That's abnormal. Nope. Yep, that's abnormal. This isn't abnormal. This isn't abnormal, but this is, and it's probably because of the transparency on the face mask. We'll discuss that in a bit, because, of course, that potentially might have an impact on the price and the potential investment on it. Now we can see that the Rock from Hell is abnormal. It's very pricey as well, and the Stormbow is not abnormal. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 skins that are abnormal. So that's 4 skins that we're going to be chasing after next week, because of course they appear earlier, if you understand all of that. And with that, let's just close this and let's just get a quick glimpse. So yes, this was the last week's batch of skins. With the Rustore rotation happening about 2 hours ago, we of course did have our buy orders to do. So last night we had the abnormals, the blue exterior door, bulk of the buy orders, you know, still barely over $1. Doesn't look like it's going to hold its value. Then we got likes of the Spacefield Garage Door. This was a $3 skin, and the buy orders, the bulk of the buy orders only barely went over $1 as well. So yeah, that's a little bit awkward, isn't it? But of course, with the rotation happening, we have seen all of the regular skins appearing, and as we can see here with the Tier 3 Thompson, well, it's got a very strong batch of buy orders going all the way up to $1.60, and there's probably a good reason for that, because this was a $2 skin. But if we just quickly hop over to here, today is Force Wipe. We had a very interesting update, but we also had some very interesting details. The Thompson and the MP5 had a buff, and we will be discussing this a bit more, because of course there's another Thompson that was accepted this week, but this might be getting a lot more interest in a bit. It's a green Thompson with a nice red tip for the aim sight. We might potentially be seeing Thompson skins and MP5 skins getting an increase in demand, is what the expectation is. If people really do like using MP5s a whole lot more, for example, they're going to be pretty good investments from here on now. But the Thompsons were always reliable, so let's just keep an eye out for what potentially happens. Now, with the Flashbacks helmet, the right helmet, it's the first right helmet to be accepted after 3 years. We were curious. I was a little bit skeptical because I thought far too many of them were bought. It's expected that there was 26,000 of them that were bought, and I was under the impression that there's far too many of them that were bought in comparison to actual genuine demand. How many people actually genuinely want to run around wearing a right helmet? This has been a discussion point that we've been talking about for the past week, and basically I've come to the conclusion that far too many of them were bought. If we don't see another right helmet appear for another 3 years, will that help it out? Of course it will, but I'm a bit worried about the short term, and that's why my buy orders only went around, I think this is an 80-cent buy order. So yeah, that's why, yeah, the bulk of the buy orders end at around almost 90 cents, because people just aren't super keen on it. It's a cool design. Yes, it was, and it sold a lot because of that, but we shall see what happens from here on out. Pirate hide shoes, I did mention this last night with the abnormal video when we were discussing regular skin prices. This honestly could have been something you bought. Hide shoes tend to be okay investments. We saw the Pizza Hut shoes, you know, that was part of the pizza collection. That really cooled off, didn't it? Quite literally. But the Hut shoes are still doing very nicely. With a sheer lack of options leads to the skins kind of holding up their value quite nicely. And this right here, this did sell quite a lot. It sold 24,000 almost. So again, a lot of people looking at that pirate collection with, you know, a lot of people like it. And quite clearly you can see with the demand, this was a 99-cent skin. It's already going above $1. There's a 66 there. I will point out that is me, because I wanted to buy them, but I forgot to buy them, so I put down a buy order there. But other than that, the buy orders go all the way up to 90 cents. And I will point this out with the likes of the pirate stuff that we had the previous week, the pirate hide shirt and vest and pants. I actually removed one of my buy orders and put down a stronger buy order, because it really does look like people really like the pirate collection. But don't forget, we are going to be taking a break from this for a while because, of course, as you are aware, Y9J wants to take a break from it, but he does plan to return to it in the future. So don't be too surprised if the prices go down a bit. Impatient people, you understand. Boonie hat, yep, the Boonie hat's doing just as good. Buy orders going above $1 as well. So yeah, pirate stuff's looking pretty good. If it does get stronger, maybe consider putting down a stronger buy order, like I did with the previous stuff. But anyway, let's just move on. Arctic Skull SAR, we had a bit of a discussion with this because we discussed whether this is like a budget comic SAR. If you weren't fully aware, the comic SAR is a $10 pure white SAR that a lot of people like to use and run around with in the snowy environments. So if we just scroll down to here, you can see that is currently selling for around $10. Only 12,000 of them were sold. If we just go up to here real quick, we can see the Arctic Skull SAR right now. It's $3, but that's just the lowest listing. We don't know what the actual genuine price is at the moment. It's literally only just become marketable. But yeah, this had 20,000 sales. Will that greatly impact it? We shall see. When loads of people start playing Rust again, whether it's August or, of course, post-Christmas time, will they be looking at that and wanting to buy it and use it and enjoy it? Well, we shall see. As of now, with the buy orders, they're going all the way up to about $1.50. Is that going to help it out enough? We shall see. But, yeah, it was a $2 skin. Will it retain its value? Will the positives that we theorise, will that work out for it? Let's find out. Because, yeah, it's mostly white and it's got a useful red tip. It's a little bit better than the comics are, but we shall see. Now we've got the likes of the hard suit roadside gloves and boots. And, yep, both of these got pretty decent demand, going all the way up to about $1. Guess what price they sold for? $1. Oh, look, there's me. Hey, why is that still there? That wasn't recent. Anyway, so yeah, this is looking pretty strong because we are expecting the potential to see the hard suit tier 2 potentially being accepted for complete the sets. Yes, after this rotation today, the next one's going to be most wanted, and after that, it's going to be complete the sets. And because the tier 2 hard suit was held back, we're under the assumption that hard suit tier 2 is probably going to be accepted for complete the sets. One of the rotations during May. So yeah. And with that, with a lot of support for both the boots and the gloves, it's probably because with the potential appearance of the hard suit tier 2 appearing, well, that's going to cause the price of this and all the other hard suit to jump up even more so. So yeah, hold strong, let's see what happens. And yep, the buy orders are going all the way up to $1, and they probably will surpass it. So yeah, everything's looking pretty good. That's nice. Gentlemen, oh, don't worry about that. That's just my buy orders for CSGO Paris 2023, which still hasn't appeared yet. But for now, let's discuss these lovely looking Rust skins. Yes, gentlemen, get a good look at all of this. We've got 10 skins, and we now need to try our best to figure out what potentially will be the best investment. We need to figure out how far these skins might potentially go. And quite conveniently, we should also point out, yeah, some of these skins are kind of old. This seems to be a bit of a teaser for what we're going to be seeing for the next 2 rotations. As I said, most wanted and complete the sets. We're very likely going to be we're going to see some workshop submissions that had a lot of interest or were from notable collections, but they weren't accepted. And this right here, 8 months ago, this was made by Mishka, and if you aren't fully aware, we have a camouflage net set, as you can see right here. And it originally started off with 3 rug skins, and then we had 2 sheet metal door skins. For some strange reason, the desert one wasn't accepted, and then unfortunately, the likes of the camouflage garage door, it had 2 versions, and they both weren't accepted. Now, I remember the original one, it wasn't that good. Then Mishka came back with the second one. I should also mention Svons helped make it. This one looked so much better, and unfortunately it was skipped, but now it's here. And guess what? It has had a positive impact. So yesterday, we actually saw a whole bunch of the camouflage sheet metal doors being bought out. And of course, if we go over to the front page right now, what do I see in the front page? It's the forest camouflage net rug. Oh, I'm talking really quickly. I'm very sorry. But yeah, quantity's going down, prices going up. So that's working out very nicely for it, isn't it? So yes, with this appearance, we now need to discuss. At $2.49, will loads of people out there in the world properly utilise the way it's meant to be used? As a nice little goofy idea of covering your entire base in camouflage forest net so you can try and hide in the foresty areas. I will sit here and say it's not as good as you think it is. Especially from a distance. When you're from a very far away distance, it's not green anymore. It's like looks like a browny, light brown colour. So yeah. Maybe just for the fun of it, maybe. I'm not sure. Well, okay, look, here's the definitive point. Let's see if Wiljan makes a video showcasing it again. Okay, let's just be straight up with it. We've had a lot of garage doors accepted this year, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see another garage door potentially appearing for the next Twitch drops. Yes, we got Twitch Rivals free, literally about 2 weeks' time, and we've got potentially a load of skins about to be dropping, so they're going to be given away for free. If we do see another garage door drop, oh god. So yeah, this year we've had quite an absurd amount of garage door skins appearing, whether it was given away for free or whether it was sold. If we just go over to here, so far, after about, 16 rotations, 17, we've had 8 garage doors. I should also point out we've had 2 garage doors given away for free, so in total we've had 10. Yeah. Now, with the problems that we potentially see in the future, as you can see here, quite a lot of these aren't doing super great, are they? Because we've had far too many, garage doors appearing. The main thing that we need to be aware of is, will Mishka and Svonspa potentially consider making more camouflage stuff? And I will point this out. They have been doing that. They made well, I can just show you the workshop. Let's just go to the workshop and I'll show you what they've done fairly recently. They made nice decorative leaf, well, I guess you could consider it still part of the same collection, but they made like small boxes. They made some really cool looking burlap stuff. There you go. They made this. That looks cool. That looks awesome. So, yeah, they've been trying. They've definitely been making an effort to try and see if they could get some more camouflage stuff accepted. I should also point out, we never did get that desert camouflage net door. Maybe we've just noticed something that potentially might be appearing for complete the sets, because that would complete the set for the doors at the very least, because we had the green one, we had the white door, and then no desert door for some strange reason. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if Mishka and Svonspa do end up making some more camouflage skins. And as we know, with the likes of a deplorable collection, if a new piece gets accepted, we tend to see pre-existing pieces jump up in price. We have seen a buyout of this last night, but it seems to have gone down a bit. In fact, if we just quickly look at it, right now you're selling for around, right, there's only 63 in the market. There was around 100, yeah, look at that. Oh, yeah, it looks like about 60 of them were bought just yesterday. A lot of people were anticipating a spike in demand and spike in price, and well, doesn't seem to have moved as much. I am curious, but this is also abnormal. I know I've been rambling for a fair bit, but we've got to try and figure out all the potential. We've got to try and get all the context. This is why I do my predictions as a separate video, because people can just get spoon-fed the answer straight away. Yeah. So with that, I am curious. I think the gimmick of it, hiding your base in the foresty area, probably will do quite all right. How long will that last for? Will that always be a thing? Don't know. I don't think many people are really going to try and do that. I, by default, would rather just wait and do my abnormal buy orders, then make a decision. Yeah, that's the fun way of doing it. So yeah, that's usually the safest option. If you aren't 100% sure what you're going to do, if it's abnormal, just, do the buy orders first, then make the decision whether to buy it or not on the first day. Just don't be like me and forget to buy those hide boots. Oh well. So yeah, that's looking to be interesting, but I do question, will we see more? And unfortunately, because we've got Most Wanted and complete the sets for the next 2 rotations, the skin creators can't make any more skins. Well, they could, but there's going to be no top pick. Yeah, just understand the skin creators were asked to not make new skins for about 2 weeks, and next week, so this weekend is the second week that they have to wait a bit. So let's see what we see in the future. Hey, right, Rock from Hell, you are pricey. You are pretty pricey, and this potentially could be a benefit. If it's too costly, then there's not going to be as many people that are going to be jumping in and trying to buy out a ton of them with the pure intent to sell. A lot less, what's the best way of explaining this? A lot less, what am I trying to say? A lot less people buy them in excess, and if there's far too many of them on the likes of the Steam market and, of course, the third-party sites, then you'd understand that, yeah, with too much quantity compared to demand, the price will go down because more and more people will be undercutting each other and selling these skins at lower prices. Yeah, you get the idea. So that's the thing that we worry about for every single skin. We don't want to see far too many of them being bought. This right here at $4.49, that seems to be a price point that not everybody can buy excessively with. Or for. You get the idea. What I'm going to sit here and say is, this is obviously part from a well-known collection. I will sit here and say, I always keep an eye on the likes of the From Hell collection. I know as a pattern that during the year, the From Hell collection usually suffers. It struggles a bit. Some of the skins do hold up quite nicely, most of them not so much. But when we have those high points where loads of people play in the game, whether it's the likes of August when kids are out of school, you know, summer vacation and whatnot, and of course post-Christmas when no one's got work, because Christmas period of time, so people out of work, college, you know, no one's doing any work as much. Yeah, we tend to see a lot more people playing Rust. We tend to see the likes of the From Hell collection getting a lot of appreciation, a lot of purchases. I know in the future, at some point, this will go above its Rust price and potentially above and beyond. But the main thing I am concerned about with the likes of that Rock From Hell is how many of them sell. If we only see like 20,000 sales, that's okay. That's okay. If we end up seeing like 30,000 sales, that's not okay. That's a worry. But I do believe. Give it some time. I wouldn't be surprised if this does go below its Rust price, because, of course, with a much higher price, it's more likely to happen. Yeah, trust me, it does. But when loads of people playing and loads of people first set their eyes upon this, I'm sure a lot of people will be wanting to use it. It's a very cool-looking, glow-in-the-dark Rock From Hell. So, yes. It's abnormal. Haha. I don't need to rush into buying it. I'm going to leave it for now. I would rather do my buy orders first, see what the buy order support looks like, and then make a decision where I'm going to go from there. All right? We have seen the likes of the rug. Remember the rug? It instantly went above and beyond. I don't think... So, yeah, everybody at some point is going to have a rock in their hands. That's true, 100%. But, you know, only if you're bad, only if you die a lot. But if you just want to be goofy and have a cool-looking rock, yeah, that's probably the rock for you. So... no, I don't want to do that. I want to see how do all of the rocks currently look like, because we have 49 in total, and I can sit here and say we have a reasonable amount that are in the negative, but if we just scroll down a fair bit, quite a lot of them are in the positive. And yeah, some notable glow-in-the-dark ones. I remember Shard of True Ice, that sold for like $10. That was like, what was it? Yeah, at the very beginning of January in 2017. I remember that. That was a long time ago. Yeah, I think the high price point probably will help it out, but I don't want to rush into buying it. Rocks tend to do quite all right. We don't see that many rock skins being accepted, but this year we're doing pretty good in regards to that. We're doing pretty good. We're seeing quite a lot of them. So how many so far this year? We've had 2. Yes, only 2, but you know, last year we only had 4, so halfway there. All right, we'll see what happens. Okay, cool. Stormbow. I think this is just a run. Y9J, you keep getting a lot of skins accepted. I think this is just a one-off skin. I mean, for sure, there's likely to be someone asking, hey, is this going to turn into a collection? I guess. I mean, it reminds me of the lightning AWP from CSGO. I don't know. If it turns into a collection, it's going to probably work out quite all right. But Y9J is currently making the Lunar Collection and the Pirate Collection. I don't think he's going to have enough time to make a third one. I think that was just a random one-off bow skin. It's clearly getting quite a lot of appreciation at the moment, as of now. It's the third most bought skin. I know. I would rather leave it for a bit, because I will point this out, hunting bow skins, they kind of drop off pretty quickly. Let's go look at all of the most recent ones that are accepted. Oh, yes. Down 50%, down 50%, down 42%, and then last year's ones, down 42, down 50, down 36. Dragon Rage bow's doing all right, but that's part of a collection. Down 49, down 51, down 2. No Mercy collection helps it out. down 35. Comics is doing quite all right. It's mostly pure white, and of course, it's part of a collection. So yeah, Tempered, not so much. Oh, wow. But then again, it did have a very high amount of sales, 23,000 sales there. So yeah, that's probably got a lot of them in circulation. So that's not too surprising. So yeah, you've got to kind of build up as much context as you can to figure out what potentially might happen to this. And as of now, I'm a little bit worried. So again, I'd rather just leave it until, Wednesday or Thursday. Look how many sales have happened. With thanks to SCMM.app, we can see a good estimate. And yeah, that's where I'll then make a consideration whether or not to buy it or not. Because, of course, I've got my financial perspective. If you like these skins, by all means, buy it, use it, enjoy it. Support those skin creators. But we're looking at skins where we're considering whether or not we might want to buy 30 or 50 or maybe even 100 of them. As of now, I'm not super keen with the likes of this Storm Bow. Yeah, it's just because of hunting bows in general. Hunting bow skins in general, to be precise. Skins. Right, let's talk about the Reptile Hunter face mask and, of course, the chest plate. So they are priced at a different price, and this is abnormal, that one isn't abnormal. This is the beginning of potentially a new set. Now, if you aren't fully aware of who Mr. Jimmick is, well, he's the guy that made pizza. Yeah, don't you love pizza? We have reason to believe loads of people like pizza. So, the main thing I'm trying to sit here and say is I think he's actually stopped making pizza, even though we're still waiting for that tier 2. Anyway, is this the beginning of a new set? And of course, we understand this, with this being a core piece, core pieces being tier 3, tier 2, and of course hoodie and pants. With every new core piece that potentially appears in the future, the pre-existing pieces jump up in price. Now, immediately we shall point out that this is a pretty cool looking face mask. This is at a higher price, as we mentioned earlier, and with the transparency, really stands out compared to most other face masks. Now we need to consider, right, will this do very well in the future? Well, first of all, I will point this out. It's a mostly dark green set. What would the likes of the hoodie and the pants and the tier 2 look like? That's what I'm curious about. As of now, from what I can see here, the dark green probably would be very favourable, right? It's the beginning of a new set. We could potentially, and don't forget this, you can always go to the workshop, you can go to the comment section, and you can sit here and ask, hey, are you going to make any more pieces? Are we going to see hoodie pants or tier 2 potentially in the future? And, he'll most likely answer. Hopefully you can understand what he's writing, because I can't. But, yeah, he does speak English, don't worry. I've spoken to him. So, yeah, feel free to just hop in, be polite, and say, hey, I like this. Is there going to be any more? And I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be more, because he needs to stop. Well, he probably wants to make something else other than pizza for now. So, yeah, this potentially will turn into a set. Keep an eye out. Reptile Hunter, let's see what else appears in the near future. But from here and now, we need to figure out, okay, what prices would we, it's not the abnormals. What are we going to say? What are we going to do? Should we buy this? At the moment, I'm going to sit here and say, this is abnormal. I don't need to rush into buying that. So, yeah, by default, if we do see hoodie pants or tier 2 in the future, this will jump up in price. I mean, we've already explained with the likes of Hardsuit. Hardsuit was suffering for a fair bit, wasn't it? But when we saw the likes of this, and with loads of people being hyped that this is potentially going to appear, the tier 2 piece, yeah, all of this jumped up in price, didn't it? All of this jumped up in price. It was all negative before, and now it's not. So, yeah, by default, we will see that go up in price if we do see more pieces being accepted. Make sense? All good? All the context is there. Let's now move on to the likes of the military large box. So, yeah, Jiba, you've been making a lot of, yeah, okay. Immediately, I think you can kind of see that people don't care too much about this this set. And I will just kind of straight up point out that, yeah, there's the goofy idea that it's, supposed to look like the loot box. What am I trying to sit here and say? If you really wanted a green large box, wouldn't you just get an? It's half a joke, yeah, right there. Wouldn't you just buy these or that? It's a lot cheaper. Yeah, I don't think it's going to hold up. Personally, I don't think that's going to hold up nicely. Yeah, it's abnormal. I mean, if you look at large box skins that have come out so far this year. Newest, scroll up, yeah. Unless it's part of a well-established and, of course, beloved deplorable collection, I don't think it's going to hold out very well. And a lot of people just don't really realize that, yeah, technically it is part of a collection, but it's so loose and barely connected. I just don't think people are going to care about it. Now, Abyss is doing all right. People like Abyss. There's a lot of Abyss deplorable skins, aren't there? But this, Tempered as well. Tempered's another one. But yeah, this is struggling. This is kind of part of a set, but it's struggling. Yeah, people didn't care about it. That's independent. It's sort of struggling. Yeah, it's not looking good for quite a lot of these large box skins. I'm not optimistic with the likes of this. Here we have another sheet metal door. Didn't we just have a sheet metal door? I swear we just had a sheet metal door. Yes, we did. It was the blue exterior door. Now we got this one. It's referred to as the missile silo door. So I guess it's referential, of course, to the new monument. Doesn't matter. People ain't going to care for it. Down 22, down 23. That's doing all right at the moment, but like that's only literally just became marketable. Give it a week or two, it'll probably be in the negative. So this right here, not super keen on it. I don't think people will care about it. So yeah, I'm just not optimistic. And now we have the likes of the Thompson. Gentlemen, I have discussed Okay, look, I need you to go watch this portion of my 48-hour analysis. For like 5 minutes, I'm going to show you a specific chapter. This is going to help you out greatly. Go to Thompson skin reliability. Shut up, Hedge. In this whole thing, I'll make it 2 times speed as well. I just want you to understand that I just kind of perfectly showcase, within reason, let's make it 1080p so it doesn't look rubbish. I just kind of go through all of the Thompson skins that came out last year, and I show how they behaved during the likes of post-Christmas. They were all bought out, and they all just shot up in price. They tend to be very reliable. Thompson skins tend to not have too much quantity on the Steam market, as you can see here, as I go down. It takes 2 pages until you see the first Thompson skin that had over 100 quantity. And 100 quantity is, on average, the average amount of quantity you would expect to see for a Rust skin on the Steam market. But the main takeaway was every single Thompson skin just behaved like this for post-Christmas time. They just got bought out and shot up. That Zebra Thompson, at its lowest, was selling for around $1.80, and then it shoots all the way up to about $9, as you can see right there. This is a very weird thing, but it keeps happening. And guess what? They've now also just been buffed. Thompsons have been buffed. I don't know why this has happened. I'm not complaining, but Thompson skins are looking pretty interesting right about now. Of course, as well, the likes of MP5 skins as well. So, yeah, it's looking pretty good. So the main takeaway is, I will sit here and say that if you were to buy these, at the very least, August, post-Christmas time, they will go up in price. Long-term investment, perfectly fine. It might go below its restore price a bit. Also, we don't know how much of... let's just go over to here. Are people buying out Thompsons? Let's see if they're close. It might take a few days for people to really go crazy. Look, I see the Blackout MP5's doing quite all right there. But yeah, give it a while. You might see a lot of Thompson skins being bought out. What's going on over here? Well, that's just my server. Don't worry about that. So, yeah, interesting. We don't need to rush into buying anything, and I would sit here and say we just kind of quite literally just had a Thompson skin appear. You could just look at this one. You could just see how well this performs over the course of the next week, and then make a decision whether or not to buy the new Thompson. Maybe that'd be perfectly fine. But by default, I rank Thompsons similar to revolvers. They tend to be the most safe investments. We usually don't see that many Thompson skins being accepted. Bit awkward to sit there and say that because we literally just had one after the other. But so far this year, after about 16 rotations, we've had 4. And the lowest performing one is only down by 12%. So, yeah. We'll probably maybe see up to about 8 to 10 Thompsons in total for the rest of this year. As in, by the end of this year, that's how many we'll see. And that's an okay amount. So, yeah. It tends to be perfectly fine. You could just do a buy order. That's fine. Do a strong buy order. Go up to about maybe $1.60 and whatnot. You very likely will buy a decent amount. But when it hits post-Christmas time, they get bought out and they just go... Because they're a very reliable weapon to use in the game. And when loads of people are playing the game again, whether it's August or post-Christmas, they're going to go for a Thompson. Reliable, not too hard to get all the resources to make it. Makes sense? High gun demand, high demand to use skins, higher skin prices. And with one quick look, we can go take a look at all of the Thompson skins. And what do we see in terms of lowest price? We have 1 and 2 in the negative. You've got a couple here in the negative. Only down by, well, that's down by 19%. That's down by 6. That's down by 12. That's down by 10. And if I take a look at all of this, that one's down by 30. Now, let me just also remind you, the tempered Thompson and the bombing Thompson, we shouldn't really ever use those. We shouldn't really use it in terms of... An example, these two skins came out during offline TV era. They have a stupidly high amount of sales, 75,000 there, and over here we have 93,000. Yeah. You should never look at this as an example. So, because of the stupid amounts that exist, it's stupidly high. But yeah, look at the likes of the Chocolate Hunter, the Lunar Thompson, the Weather Thompson. Yeah. That's probably as low as it will go. And if you look at every other Thompson, they're all in a positive. So yeah. Thompson, it's pure green. Is that going to go well with your Forest Raider set? Which, by the way, might potentially be going up in price because you are now forced to use skins. Yeah. So, it's up to you. Choices there, but I've given you a whole bunch of context to work with. It's up to you. All right, all good? Right, now we've got the tools. No, sorry. Unfortunately, we've already had tools accepted this year, haven't we? Let's go see how well they're doing. La-da-da-da-da. Newest. And what do we see? Negative. Oh, actually, that's doing quite all right. Is that getting pumped? That's probably getting pumped. This looks like a pump. Bit of a slow one. Why would that go up in price? The only answer I could give to you is a pump. Let me turn on my extension. Let's see if we can see if there's any funny business going on. So let's just turn this on real quickly. And what do we see? Bulk of the buy orders end at 70. Oh, okay, that's like 90 cents, isn't it? Yeah, ends at 90 cents. Has a YouTuber been using this recently or something? I personally think this is just a pump. Actually, do you know what will help us out? We could take a look at the pickaxe. So let's go take a look at the lights of the pickaxe. But yeah, you'd notice that quite a lot of these tools, they go down in price pretty quickly. Right, pickaxe, how you doing? Yeah, you're negative by like, damn, you're already down to $1. Yeah, that hatchet we just saw, that's being pumped. It's the beginning of a new pump. But yeah, as you can see, negative. They're all in the red. All of them, pretty much all of them except a couple, because this is bright and glows, and at least it's special and unique. And that's Rainbow Pony. Yeah. Tools, unfortunately, they're not in demand in terms of the actual usage of the skins. Like, at the very least, I think it's down to the fact that everybody probably already has their especially chosen and beloved set of tool skins. And then, look at all of this. This is all of the 2021 hatchets, all in the negative. This is all of the 2022 hatchets, all in the negative. Ignoring this one, this is already down to around $1. It looks like, by default, this is immediately a 70 cent to 90 cent buy order. So yeah, that's it. That's basically everything. We tried our best to get all the context out there, and I'll obviously do my predictions video as well, but we just spent 20 minutes going through all of this, and we were figuring out what potentially will be the best things to put your money towards. As of now, Thompson. Thompson's the best one. Thompson's the most reliable thing. In terms of what's still looking interesting, I will sit here and say, by default, the tier 3 armor is looking good, and then the likes of the Rock from Hell and the camouflage Nick Garage door. But everything else, yeah. So now we need to discuss, of course, we do have the likes of Twitch drops. Yep, Twitch drops will be appearing in 2 weeks' time. This is going on between May 16th to the 20th. There are 8 teams. Yep, 8 teams of 20, I believe. We will see 2 people from each team have a special drop. We actually have a good idea. So if we go over to here real quickly, there is a collection. Should we go to here? I think we only have a few skins that we can see. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, there's only a few skins so far. So we've got a Team Rocket hoodie and AK-47. We've got a hoodie that could either be used by or dropped by Coconut B or E-Rob, and Dalacard and Wildjum have their own hoodie as well. So yep, cool looking hoodie right there. Cool looking AK right there. We have the hoodie right here. I think that's still in the process of being made. I think that's still being tweaked. So, yeah, there will be more pictures and whatnot, I'm sure. And, of course, we also have this one as well. So, yeah, very cool, very cool. So, yes, Twitch rivals on the horizon, and we will very likely potentially see the likes of another trophy being dropped. Please, 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 please do not buy the Twitch rivals trophy. It was glitched. It was only marketable for about 2 hours by accident. All of the trophies you see here, they were all listed within those 2 hours. They have never been removed. And if you buy this, it automatically will never ever become marketable or tradable ever again. You have lost your money. It's gone. And I wouldn't be surprised, and please listen to me, I wouldn't be surprised if they drop a new one for this next event. I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of these general drops right here. So don't buy it, right? Don't be a fool. Don't waste your money away. It's not a rare and valuable item. We're about to receive another one for free, all right? And unfortunately, people will still buy it because they're not smart. I warned you. That trophy was given away for free. It's not special. Loads of people have them. Anyway, so you can see the likes of the Forest Camouflage Net doing quite all right over there. So I stick with my point, gentlemen. We do need to keep an eye out for the likes of what might potentially happen with the likes of the MP5 skins, which we can quickly look at all over here. MP5, and the likes of the Thompson skins as well. You can go to scmm.app, go to the items section, go to item search, and more specifically, I just want to see what all the marketable ones are. And yeah, quite a lot of them in the negative, but for how long? Will we start seeing the prices all jump back up again in the future? Will there be a reinvigorated demand for MP5 skins again? Please understand, at the beginning of 2022, MP5 skins were exactly like Thompson skins. We already saw the Thompson skins earlier, didn't we? They were very reliable. Loads of people like to use the MP5. And yeah, you get the idea. High gun demand, high demand to use skins, high skin prices. But in June 2022, we had the recall update, and they nerfed the MP5, and it went very bad, and nobody wanted to use it anymore. So with what we see over here, it's going to be very beneficial. Let's see if it really helps out, and we see it being used a whole lot more. But what I should also point out is, also don't forget we have the new building DLC. Very nice. They are showing statistics. And apparently, the gun that does the 5th most damage overall in Rust is the MP5. So, I don't know. I guess it's just general... No, it's the fourth highest. So, I guess it's just silly. I don't know. Its skins aren't doing well just because people say it's bad. I don't know. But yeah, 50% of the meta is AK-47, semi-automatic rifle, and Thompson. So yeah, let's buff the Thompson and the MP5. Oh well, it's interesting. So yeah, you should read through these blogs, see all the interesting information they provide you and whatnot. Take, for example, you can see which items tend to be the most traded. Lots of sulfur, but of course currency. So yeah. All right. Cool. So we had a bit of a talk, didn't we? We went through as much as we could, and I now need to go record a predictions video. But yeah, let's see what potentially happens with the likes of next week, because, and I'll quickly mention this once more, we don't know. No, nothing definitive has been made. Nothing definitive has been said. We're not fully in the clear what the most wanted rotation will be. That German guy, TGG, is going to make some sort of interesting collection next week, and we're going to have to just look at that. What I'm led to believe it is, all very high-scoring skins that were on the workshop, so I'm sure you understand, you can vote for skins, and we have seen the likes of, take for example, Comics Tier 2 and Tier 3. That was very highly scoring. Loads of people were voting for it. It had a very high score for what Steam has. Steam has its weird scoring system. They were like top 3 for votes during the week that they were in the workshop when they were first, when they first appeared. And then, of course, the Tier 2 and the Tier 3 weren't accepted. I'm going to sit here and say I wouldn't be surprised if we potentially see the likes of the comics Tier 2 or Tier 3 appearing for Most Wanted. Because that would make sense if that's what Most Wanted is. It might just be a case of Face Punch just goes back and looks at skins that came out within the past year or so, and they just say, hey, that looks cool, let's add that, even though we didn't add it last time. It's essentially 2 weeks of complete the sets, basically. So, yeah, and of course, with the second week being complete the sets, we would expect a whole bunch of skins like, you know what, I'll point this out. Do you remember the likes of, let's go over here. What's missing a final piece that could potentially complete its collection? Oh, I don't know, how about JPEG? Yes, JPEG needs its tier 3, doesn't it? Because we didn't get that, did we? What about Elite Crate? Yep. What does Elite Crate miss? It needs its tier 2. The tier 2 was never accepted. So do you see what I'm finding out here? I'm pointing out all these things. So yeah, we could potentially see some collections jumping up in price if we finally see the final piece, finally appear. So maybe you might want to start making some considerations and making some investments. It's going to be a surprise. It's going to be a very big surprise. But we don't know anything as of now. So keep an eye on what Mr. TGG is going to be making. And yeah, let's see. Let's find out. So yeah, have a lovely day. Have a lovely weekend. Enjoy the new update. And yeah, let's see if those Thompsons and MP5s turn out all right.